We're sure you know that there are some truly extravagant and bizarre competitions out there. But do you know how deep the odd competition rabbit hole really goes? Here we've compiled a list of some of the stranger, more out there things that people do to kill some time and have some fun. This is Interesting Competitions You Need to Know About. 14. Air Guitar Championships. Now, it may make sense to compete in a competition featuring real people riffing on real guitars, but did you know that there are championships all over the world for people who play the air guitar? In Oulu, Finland, one can find the Oulu Music Video Festival, which since 1996 has administered the Air Guitar World Championships Network. It started as a kind of joke, but people began to take it seriously, and it's become a major draw. There are currently 20 countries that are members of the network, and they use a scoring system similar to the old system used in figure skating. The contest consists of 2 rounds, one where the contestant chooses their own song to play 60 seconds of, and one where the contestant plays a song selected by the organizers. 13. Pea Shooting. Yes, there is a pea shooting competition, and it's called the World Pea Shooting Championship. In it, people shoot peas from devices and contraptions they come up with themselves. They shoot these peas at a 12-inch target while standing 12 feet away, and they can't have a device measuring more than 12 inches long. Anyone can come up with whatever kind of contraption they want, be it through a straw like a spitball or something more advanced. It just needs to propel the peas using air blown from their mouth. 12. Chessboxing. This hybrid sport combines 2 pastimes, and we think you can figure out what they are. The competitions are separated into different rounds, where in one round competitors will be playing chess, and the next they'll be duking it out. There are 11 total rounds, with 6 being designated for chess, and the other 5 toward boxing. It initially began as an art performance that was dreamt up by Lipe Rubing, a Dutch performance artist. It's popular in places like Russia, Germany, India, and the United Kingdom, and the first competition was held in 2003 in Berlin. Competitors can win or lose by disqualification by referee, exceeding the time control while playing chess, a checkmate, a knockout, or if someone bows out. 11. Pig wrestling. This type of competition isn't all that uncommon, and it's called many different things. In one place it may be pig wrestling, whereas in others it could be pig scramble, hog wrestling, or greased pig catching. There are also slight variations where in one, participants may try to catch a pig in a mud pit and put the creature in a barrel, and in another, the pig might be greased with some kind of oil to make things even tougher. Typically, participants compete in teams of 4 and race against the clock to catch, gain control of, and finally place the pig in a barrel. This is most commonly seen at state fairs or anywhere else an agricultural show might take place. 10. High-Heeled Drag Queen Race. On the Tuesday before Halloween every year, Washington, D.C. hosts an interesting race at DuPont Circle. Around 100 drag queens participate in the competition and show off their elaborate costumes, while thousands of spectators look on. The first race took place at midnight on Halloween in 1986, with 25 racers who booked it down the street from JR's Bar and Grill, raced up some stairs to Annie's Steakhouse, took a shot of schnapps, then hightailed it back down to the street. The race was one of, if not the first of its kind, and has inspired many other high-heel races in drag and not around the world. 9. Bog Snorkeling. Of course, something like this would start over a couple of drinks, right? A bar conversation in the New At Arms Hotel in Llanrydid, Wales, the United Kingdom, between a guy named Gordon Green and some regulars sparked the idea, and bog snorkeling was born soon after. The first real competition took place in 1976. What competitors have to do is swim 2 lengths of a trench filled with water that cuts through a peat bog. They swim the same 55-meter trench twice for a combined 110-meter bog dash. They do so with flippers and a snorkel and can't perform regular swimming strokes, but must instead use flipper propulsion alone. There's even a World Bog Snorkeling Championship that's been held every year since 1985, and the world record holder is Neil Rudder, who completed his bog snorkel in 1 minute 18.81 seconds. 8. Wife carrying. This sport was birthed in Sonkajärvi, Finland, and began as a joke, as do a lot of these strange competitions. Rumor has it that in the 19th century there was a brigand known as Rosvo Roncanen who, along with his band of thieves, would steal various food items and women from villages near him, and they would carry them out on their backs. This supposedly made them faster and stronger, and it's thought this is where the initial idea for wife carrying came from. Nowadays, guys aren't trying to steal a woman, they just have to carry a female partner through an obstacle course in the fastest time possible. It has grown into a full-fledged sport and can be found in many places throughout the world now, including Estonia, Hong Kong, the UK, Australia, and the United States. 7. Underwater hockey. Say what? Not only is there hockey played on frozen water, there's hockey played underneath it too? Underwater hockey is also sometimes called octopush, and it's apparently a thing all around the world. It's played pretty much just like regular hockey, but with flippers, goggles, a snorkel, and a tiny little hockey stick. The players attempt to move the puck across the bottom of the pool, and the typical formation for play is 6 on 6, 3 forwards, 3 defensive players, for 2 halves of either 10, 15, or 20 minutes each. They switch sides after the period of play, have penalties, line changes, and referees, all like the ice and roller versions of the sport. It started in the United Kingdom in 1954, and World Championships are held every 2 years and have been since 1980. 6. Red Bull Flugtag. Flugtag is German for flight day, and it's like a flight show with a twist or two. Competitors try their luck taking human-powered and homemade flying contraptions off of a 30-foot high pier into water. Initially, the format of the competition wasn't even established by Red Bull, but came into being in 1971 in a town called Chelsea in England, and was named the Birdman Rally. Then Red Bull picked up on it, held their own competition, and called it Flugtag, of which the first was in Vienna, Austria in 1991. It was a massive hit, and that inspired the brand to keep going, and it has run every year since. Competitions can be found in 35 different cities around the globe, and anyone can compete as long as their flying machine meets the criteria. Most of the time, they don't work all that well, but that's okay because they're scored not only on the distance their crafts fly, but on showmanship and creativity as well. 5. Battle of the Oranges. This giant food fight is held in Ivrea in northern Italy and has been for some time. The legend behind the strange large-scale celebration has to do with a newlywed miller's daughter who overcame and did off with an evil duke who tried to claim his droit du seigneur. The Battle of the Oranges is held to commemorate the woman's victory over the duke and the liberation of the town, although it's not entirely clear when the odd festival itself began. Initially, though, beans were thrown instead of oranges, but sometime in the late 19th century, the citrus fruit replaced the legume. During the battle, some groups ride around in carts and represent the Duke's cronies, while other groups on foot represent the townspeople. Then they have a bit of a free-for-all and chuck oranges at each other in good fun. After that, the festival ends, everything and everyone gets cleaned up, and they convene again at the same time and same place, year after sticky year. 4. Baby Jumping Festival. No, this isn't a festival where thousands go to watch adorable little babies bound and bounce around. It's a festival where thousands go to watch grown men jump over babies. Known as El Calaco, this Spanish holiday began back in 1620 and happens every year to celebrate the Feast of Corpus Christi. Now, the festival is a week long and the baby jumping only occurs on the last day, but that doesn't change how strange it is. Men in red and yellow devil suits hold giant castanets and whips while jumping over precious babies to cleanse them of original sin and provide some sort of protection throughout their lives. Sounds dangerous and more than a little weird, and no one really knows where the idea for the jumping started. 3. Gurning competitions. Ever heard of gurning? That's a facial expression made when one tries to pull the lower jaw as far up as possible, and there are competitions to find the best of the best at it. At these contests, more than just typical gurning occurs, and variations are sometimes thrown in, but a true great gurn gets a competitor to the top of the pack. Better gurners are usually those who don't have any teeth, as they can pull their jaw up farther without any chompers to hold them back, and some even have their teeth removed intentionally to do so. The annual Egremont Crab Fair in Egremont, Cumbria is where the World Gurning Championship takes place, and although no one knows quite when the competition began, it was described in a newspaper in 1852 as an ancient tradition. 2. Tough Mudder. Now, you may have heard of this competition, but have you ever realized just how crazy it could be? For starters, people sign up to slog through muddy, dangerous obstacle courses whose obstacles were intentionally designed to play on various human fears. They face all kinds of things that not only test their physical strength, but their mental toughness as well. With the Tough Mudder Classic featuring obstacles with names like electroshock therapy and Arctic enema. Given there are Tough Mudder events that don't feature possible life-threatening obstacles like the Tough Mudder 5K and of course the Mini Mudder for children. But it doesn't mean these mudders are any less challenging or interesting. It's common for participants to dress up in all manner of costumes and for things to get wild while they get down and dirty. We've seen some pretty strange competitions already, and we still have one more to go. But first we want to ask you, what's the weirdest or most exciting competition you've ever been a part of? Did it involve drag queens? Oranges maybe? Let us know in the comments below. 1. Naki Sumo. With a basis in a Japanese proverb that means crying babies grow faster, the primary goal of this competition is to make babies cry. What better way to set a baby wailing than to put them in the arms of sumo wrestlers who make faces and noises at them to frighten them half to death? That's Naki Sumo for you, the strange competition that's held every year in Tokyo at the Sensoji Temple. It's been taking place for around 400 years now, and it's believed that the crying of the babies will rid them of any demons and ensure a long, fruitful life. The first baby to cry is the winner, and if they start screaming at the same time, the louder baby takes the cake. If you enjoyed this video, do us a big favor and give it a like. Subscribe to our channel so you can always keep up with our amazing uploads, and check out this video that we picked out just for you.